Each week on Culinary Confidential, Christina Cates, a seasoned foodie who has worked at some of New York City's top restaurants, will share her passion for the culinary world. Whether you're a professional chef, a restaurant enthusiast, or a lover of good food, Christina dives into the heart of hospitality, exploring the trends, triumphs, and challenges facing the food service profession. And you won't want to miss her chats with some of the most interesting and influential industry voices. And now, please take your seat at the table as Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates starts now, exclusively on AM 970, The Answer.
Welcome to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates. This show is produced in association with my dear friend, Lucas A. Ferrara. It's officially spooky season, and I have a great show lined up tonight to get us ready for Halloween at the end of the week. But before we get into the show, I'll need to wish my little sister, Jessica, a happy 40th birthday. She's a Halloween baby. So my Halloween tradition growing up was trick-or-treating after school and then rushing home to have her birthday dinner of baked ziti and a Halloween-themed Dairy Queen ice cream cake. And that's exactly what we'll be doing again this Friday night. So happy birthday, Jessica. Halloween isn't just costumes and spooky decorations. It's one of the biggest candy holidays of the year. Every October, Americans spend more than $3 billion on candy alone, with chocolate leading the way. The average household hands out about 2 pounds of candy on Halloween night, and the most popular treat year after year is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, followed closely by M&M's, Snickers, and Skittles. Trick-or-treating as we know it really took off in the 1950s, thanks in part to candy companies like Hershey, who marketed small, individually wrapped pieces as the perfect handout. Before that, kids often received fruit, nuts, or even homemade baked goods. Today, safety and convenience keep the focus squarely on the packaged sweets. Interestingly, candy corn, a Halloween icon, is one of the oldest commercial candies in the U.S., first made in the 1880s. Love it or hate it, about 35 million pounds of candy corn are still produced every year. Let me tell you, it's not Halloween in my parents' house until that glass pumpkin hits the counter with candy corn filled to the brim in it every year. Beyond the sugar rush, Halloween candy has become a cultural touchstone. People trade favorites, stash away chocolates, and debate the best and worst candies. It's more than just a treat. It's a tradition that ties together nostalgia, marketing, and our collective sweet tooth. When we talk about Halloween candy, we can't skip one of the biggest names in the game, the Hershey Company. Founded in 1894 in Pennsylvania, Hershey has grown into the world's largest chocolate makers, and Halloween has become one of its most important seasons. In fact, Hershey's makes nearly a quarter of its annual sales in the weeks leading up to October 31st. Think about the classics. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, as I mentioned earlier, Kit Kats, Hershey bars, Twizzlers, all Halloween staples that kids eagerly trade from their trick-or-treat bags. And the numbers are staggering. During Halloween season, Hershey makes and produces hundreds of millions of snack-sized bars to meet demand. So while Halloween may be about costumes, ghosts, and goblins, for Hershey, it's about tradition, business, and bringing a little chocolate magic to doorsteps across the country. Now, this brings me to my guest on the show tonight. Joining Culinary Confidential for the hour is Katie DeCapria of the Hershey Company. With a decade of consumer marketing experience across consumer packaged goods and durable industries, Katie DeCapria has contributed to the success of some of America's most beloved family brands, including Hershey's, Pillsbury, and Cheerios. At the Hershey Company, she leads the iconic Halloween portfolio, driving strategy, innovation, and activation for the company's biggest season. Her work focuses on shaping the future of seasonal celebrations by bringing together consumer insights, breakthrough innovation, and iconic marketing activation to grow the category and inspire family traditions worldwide. The brand launched a new lineup of almost 20 Halloween products, and Katie is going to tell us all about it. Katie DeCapria, welcome to Culinary Confidential. I feel so honored to have the queen of Halloween candy on the show tonight. This is not a trick.
It's so funny. It's so funny you say that. That's what my husband calls me. So
he does? The queen of candy?
Very validated. Yes.
Well, I mean, Hershey's is the biggest company in the world. This is huge. Okay.
It is an honor to work at the biggest candy manufacturer during our biggest moment in the year. So it is definitely an honor.
And I heard Hershey's has something like 20 new products this holiday season for Halloween.
That's right.
Should we start with that?
Yeah, we have been busy. I mean, we've been working on putting together the 2025 Halloween program we've been working on it for like 2 years.
Wow, it takes that long.
So we prepare for, like, I'm already beginning to prepare for the 2027 Halloween season right now.
How do you even just continue to think and be creative along the lines of candy block, writer's block, after just a few? What do we have coming on the market this Halloween season?
So this year there's some fun stuff, and I understand you're going to get a goodie box, so I can't wait for you to see it.
I can't wait for me to see it, and I can't wait to hide it from my kids who will never see it.
Exactly right. You're going to get some... so my favorite item in that box right now, I can't stop eating our Reese's unwrapped mini pumpkins.
Ooh.
So it's everything you love about a Reese's pumpkin, but they're in a stand-up pouch, unwrapped and super poppable. And so even just last night, I shared a couple of these with my kids, and they're like a cute treat to have at the end of the day.
I like that. A poppable. I think that's a great term for that.
Yeah.
I pop it in my mouth. Wow. Okay.
Yep. So that's
what else?
One of
what
my
favorites.
We have? Yeah, we have another great partnership coming with the Peanuts brand. So the Great Pumpkin, that's a really nice, it's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and it's a nice partnership that we have coming with Reese's Pumpkins, and that's been out of the gates really popular with consumers. And then another one I'm really excited about is we're taking the Kit Kat brand, which is a leading brand already in Halloween, but we're putting that in shape form. So new to Halloween 2025 is, we call it Kit Kat Counts. It takes on like a vampire shape. Oh. Very, very cute new innovation on that brand.
Wow, I feel so cool that I'm getting all of this limited edition candy before Halloween. Where do you buy it in stores? Like, when is it available? Is it in stores now?
Sure is, yeah. So Halloween candy starts getting out onto stores as early as July.
Yeah, that's true.
But then as soon as Labor Day ends and we shift into early September is where you'll start to see the big sets of candy come through. So we're in full force now. And then we really pick up steam in mid to late October, as you can imagine, as families get ready for trunk and trick-or-treating.
That's right. That's right. I said in the intro, every household gives out about 2 pounds of candy. That's a ton of candy.
It is a ton of candy. And can you imagine, just for those of us who are in the manufacturing side, like how much preparation, what a big powerhouse like team it is behind preparing for that big candy moment on October 31st.
This is a huge role you have, Katie.
I'm honored to have it. It really is a super fun role, working a lot, not only with consumer insights and close to the consumer on where the trends are going, but also internally with our plants and our supply chain teams, just to make sure that we're producing and supplying every bit of demand out there for the season.
That's right, because kids, they need the candy. You can't have Halloween without candy. It would be terrible.
You took the words out of my mouth.
So how long have you worked with Hershey?
I've been with Hershey for 3 years. I joined back in 2022, and I was supporting the Hershey's brand, so also leading marketing for really the flagship brand in the building. And then I've been on the Halloween business for only 6 months, believe it or not. But I feel like I've been here for quite some time longer. You
know what I have in my head? Your job is like Tom Hanks in Big, where he like plays with toys all day. You just get to like try and innovate candy all day. It's like a dream job for someone.
I would say it's a dream job for me. It's certainly a dream job for my kids when I tell them that I work for the candy company, the candy plant. And
biggest candy company in the world.
Yeah, they see images on my screen of things that we're working on, and they give me feedback in real time. It's a very cool job. I'm always thinking about the future and how the consumer trends and insights change and how we can best support those evolving trends.
I mean, yes, trends do change, but Reese's is the highest selling chocolate in the world. So there is something to be said about people liking something traditional, even if you innovate it into a different shape. But that flavor profile, the chocolate, the peanut butter, that's what people remember. That's what they want. That's Halloween to them.
You bet. And I'm sure, Christina, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more, because we have there's a lot going on the Reese's brand. And it is the #1 brand, not only in the U.S. confection category, but also in the Halloween season. But consumers really know and love the Reese's brand, and you said that perfect proportion between chocolate and peanut butter. But even how we're innovating with bringing those mini Reese's pumpkins to market, we can still deliver on exactly what consumers love with that Reese's brand, but in a new format and a new shape, and really helps to like extend the season and the fun of the season into new occasions.
That's amazing. All right, so what else are you launching this Halloween season?
Yeah, so we have continued partnership. We have Harry Potter partnership. This is our third year with them.
Nice.
Harry Potter really is super relevant towards this, September, October, and then into the holiday season. And so we've had that partnership with them, and we're now expanding it with our Hershey's cookies and cream business. And so that's off to a really strong start already. And then we have innovation in our sweets portfolio. So 2 new things coming. We call it sweets. You can think non-chocolate candy or sugar candy. One is on Shackalicious. We have our new Shackalicious gummies coming in the Halloween portfolio, as well as a new Jolly Rancher called Trickies, where we mash up the fruit shapes with the flavor, kind of a trick to your treat. So those are the 2 new sugar options we have coming into the program.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so well thought out. I love a Jolly Rancher. Ryan Pagano,
I know.
Are your taste buds tantalizing right now thinking of this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love a good old Jolly Rancher, especially during Halloween time? I mean, never mind all this chocolate that we're talking about right now, whether it's just the traditional Hershey's chocolate bars, Reese's, what have you.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's just really having me look so much more forward to Halloween. I'm a little disappointed in myself, though, that I didn't come in costume.
Well, it's not too late.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Another disappointment by Ryan Pagano. Just kidding. I love you. Okay. Can we talk a little bit about the history of Hershey?
Oh, of course. I would love to.
Because honestly, I don't know much about it except that it was founded in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the history of the Hershey Company is one of the big reasons for people who work for Hershey. We have so much pride in this company. Milton Hershey is the founder of the Hershey Company. There's actually a movie coming out about his life story sometime next year, and so we're very excited to be amplifying his history and his legacy. But yeah, we're founded in Hershey, Pennsylvania. One of the reasons, this is a fun fact, that we're here is that Hershey milk chocolate is made from fresh milk. And so our manufacturing plants needed to be located somewhere with high access to fresh milk. And so why not kind of more rural countryside Pennsylvania was the perfect fit. And now I've lived here now for 3 years, but it's a huge attraction. We have Hershey Park, which is a beautiful amusement park that is a vacation spot for a lot of families on the East Coast. A place called Hershey Chocolate World, which is an extension of the park, but it's a place to really be immersed in all things Hershey chocolate. I came here with my friends a few weeks ago and gave them an opportunity to make their own Hershey chocolate bar. So that's really an impressive place. And then the town of Hershey itself is just super picturesque. And like I said, huge, rich legacy and history with the Hershey Company. And so we're all pretty proud to work here and to live here.
Wow. I've never been to Hershey Park. I know.
Well, you may need to change that sometime.
I know.
Soon.
I need to take my kids there. They would love it. But
Super
I know
fun.
a lot of people that it's like their tradition. They go every summer, the whole family, and they love it. So I really need to make an effort to get there. But this movie coming up, that sounds really interesting because Hershey was like the real life Willy Wonka.
That's right. And it's a really beautiful, I'm not super close to it, so I can't speak to too many details, but he's a real life American story.
Yeah.
Like he's an immigrant family, really built the Hershey Company from the ground up, a true innovator and entrepreneur, and just created an incredible legacy here. So I don't know the exact launch day yet. I don't think it's been released, but it's coming out definitely, I think sometime end of next year, but
that sounds
definitely
great.
worth checking out. It is really a touching story.
Yeah, I definitely will check it out. Let's talk a little bit more about Halloween because that is your specialty and that's why you're here tonight.
Right.
Are there any interesting facts related to Hershey and Halloween that people would be surprised by?
Well, whenever I joined this team, I was also curious in that question. And so I partnered with the Hershey Archives. Believe it or not, we have an archivist, or a number of archivists that work for the Hershey Foundation, and I wanted to understand a little bit more about our history around Halloween. And so from what we can tell, the earliest that we have history of tailoring our products to Halloween is in 1952.
Okay.
In that year, we had our core products like Hershey Miniatures, Hershey Kisses, Hershey Milk Chocolate Bars, but we updated the packaging to be more relevant to Halloween. So it goes pretty far back, pretty long history.
That's amazing. Now, what was the first Hershey product that became available for Halloween as a staple? Was it just a regular Hershey bar?
Yeah, so back then there wasn't much innovation on Hershey for Halloween. It was, like I said, the classic Miniatures, Kisses, and Milk Chocolate Bars, but with updated packaging. We mentioned Reese's and Reese's Pumpkins. That's really what consumers think about now with Halloween. And that item debuted in 1993. So it really signals just how long we've been innovating and focusing on Halloween as a company.
Honestly, you're saying 93, but I just thought it was so much longer. I feel like growing up, because I was born in 84, I don't remember a Halloween without a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in my Halloween bag.
Well, I think that goes to say just how iconic the item has become to Halloween. Yeah,
I love
very
it.
Strong.
So how did Hershey become so closely tied to the Halloween traditions in the U.S.?
I think that's a great question, and one that I don't have concrete data to back up. But as I think about when I joined this team, I went through probably 20 years worth of strategy decks and presentations on Hershey and Halloween. And our business has quadrupled in size in that time frame. And I look back at what are the levers that we've been pulling over that time? And it's largely around following consumer trends and following the consumer and innovating around what they're looking for. So whether it's flavor innovation, pack type innovation, shapes, new brands, new flavors and textures, it seems like Hershey's always been on top of the game about where the consumer is going. And so I really do think it's based off of our strength in consumer insights and reacting to that's really driven our growth in Halloween.
Amazing. Katie, let's go to commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about consumer trends and some marketing and brand strategy, if that's okay. Stay tuned.
Perfect.
You're listening to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates on AM 970 The Answer.
Over the last 30 years, Newman Ferrara, a New York City law firm, has evolved into a national practice focused on real estate, commercial, litigation, civil rights, class actions, and other complex litigation, representing many of the city's largest property owners, managing agents, and thousands of tenants. Newman Ferrara handles some of the nation's most significant class actions and civil rights matters. Newman Ferrara at 1250 Broadway in New York City. Go online to newmanferrara.com. That's newmanferrara.com. Listen to the firm's name partner, Lucas Ferrara, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Dottie Herman's longest-running real estate radio program, Eye on Real Estate on AM 970. A real estate lawyer for 35 years, Lucas is a professor at New York Law School and is also a published author with books on real estate and New York's landlord-tenant law. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to hear Lucas's unique perspective and advice on Eye on Real Estate.
Welcome back to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates on AM 970, The Answer.
Welcome back to the show. I'm joined tonight by Katie DeCapria of Hershey's. Katie DeCapria leads Hershey's Halloween program, shaping the strategy behind the company's biggest seasonal business. She brings 10 years of consumer marketing experience across top CPG brands, from Hershey's to Pillsbury and Cheerios. Katie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Christina. Excited to be here.
I can't stop thinking about these mini Reese's pumpkins that are going to be popping in my mouth all Halloween season, honestly.
I can't wait until they get to you. They are so good.
Thank you again for sending that package. That was so kind of you. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate that. I can't wait to try everything in it.
Oh, thanks. It's our pleasure.
All right, so let's talk consumer trends. What are the most popular Hershey's candies during Halloween today, besides the Reese's? Because we know Reese's.
Yep. So number one is our assortment bags. And when I say that, what I mean is those big trick or treat bags that have lots of brands, lots of items in them. We offer those across multiple price points and piece counts. And so that is our number one. That's followed up by the Reese's brand, Kit Kat brand, and Hershey's bars.
Those are the ones that have like the little mini bars, right? They have like the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate, the ones with almonds.
Yeah.
I love those.
So we offer there's a number of different formats you can get them in, but the most popular one is those miniatures where you might think like those are the dark, the milk, cookies and cream, crackle, if you remember that. But yeah, those are really popular in Halloween. Yeah.
Okay. Those are my favorite. I thought I was going to say the dark chocolate little mini Hershey's, but it's the crackle. I love the crackle. I actually steal those from my kids and I don't feel bad about it.
Nor should you.
No. All right. Have you noticed shifts in consumer preferences, like from chocolate bars to bite size or seasonal varieties?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So we noticed, we're very close to the consumer data. We watch it intently, both in the season and without. And there's a few things that we've been watching. The first is consumers love the seasonality of, first of all, Halloween, but also their candy. So you think about what you're seeing about Halloween right now. There was a huge trend in the summer about playfully celebrating Halloween in the summer with Summerween, and consumers were kind of tapping into different shapes and flavor profiles to celebrate early. Those are the kind of trends that we're watching a lot, is just this huge push around having fun and just being playful and really loving the seasonal specialties around the holiday. The other trends that we watch a lot is around piece count. And so that might sound a little boring to you, but like, depending on where you live, the kind of neighborhood you have, and the kind of house you want to show up as in trick or treat, consumers are looking for a lot of different solutions on how many pieces they get. So we have offerings out there with bags of 400 pieces, with like lots of miniature pieces, or you can get a 36 count box of the regular full size bars. You want to really be that memorable, like best house on the block. And so those would be some trends I'm looking at, both highly seasonality, like really into the shapes, but also tailoring piece count solutions and size solutions depending on the house that you want to be.
So if you want to be the best house on the block, you have to go full size. There's no miniatures coming out of the best house on the block. You need the full size bar.
You better believe that as the queen of Halloween, which my husband calls me, that we will be having the full size bars and the Reese's pumpkins on our front step.
I love it. Does everyone in the neighborhood know you work for Hershey?
So this is actually kind of funny. The house, so I live in a neighborhood that's not perfect, not great for trick-or-treaters. So we go down to our friend's house. There's three of us, three families that join in. We're all Hershey employees. And so that house is like the king house to visit, because we're handing out the good stuff, and you're getting like a 3-in-1 stop when you come to the house.
Okay, where was that, Katie? Because I might be coming by. All right, when we're talking about tracking the data, the consumer data, predicting things, like how do you track that? Like, what are you using for your metrics of tracking what the people want?
Yeah, great question. First, we have an all-star consumer insights team who are my partners throughout the entire season. And so I'm really close to them. I mean, there's a lot of the boring business stuff. Like, of course, I look at the metrics. Like, we have a weekly survey that is sent out to 4,000 people every single week, and we're asking them questions. And so we're seeing a lot of quantitative data. But my favorite kind of consumer insights is really that qualitative insights work that we interview consumers about their perceptions of Halloween and what they love about Halloween. We also do shop-alongs with consumers, so we'll walk in stores with them and see and observe how they shop the aisle and what they look at, what they pick up, and that really helps us build. We're all real people who we're consumers too, who are leading these businesses. But actually getting in stores or getting with consumers and watching how they act and what they do, that's the best kind of insights.
That's great. Ryan, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to follow up on this, Katie, because we've seen social media just become so much more prevalent as far as gauging what consumers are so interested in. And I'm sure that especially picks up during the Halloween season, too. So I just wanted to ask if there's more engagement when it comes to certain brands with the Hershey Company. Like, how much does social media play that factor now with
Good question, right?
engaging those consumers?
That's a really great question. I mean, what we're noticing now is that consumers are really looking on social for inspiration. I'm watching social media a lot around how consumers are decorating their front steps and their kind of their front door, or they're hosting Halloween parties, or the kind of crafts or decorations they're using with their kids. I mentioned Summerween earlier, but like consumers are really using social media for inspiration on how to celebrate seasons differently and maybe more uniquely than they have before. And our brands show up as a tool in the broader setup. So whether it's using Reese's pumpkins on a s'more, or using candy in like decorative in a candy bowl around Halloween, those are all things that we're watching very closely and we take a lot of inspiration from.
When we were talking about limited edition products, was there ever something that was so incredibly successful that you had to bring it back?
That is a wonderful question. I mean, right now we have launched a Hershey's nugget that's flavored with pumpkin spice.
Ooh, that's so popular right now. Pumpkin, everything pumpkin.
It is, and it's so. I'm telling you, this item is so good. It's also going to be in your box, so I can't wait until you get it.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. I can't wait. But that one is going really, really well in market. And while it was intended to be a 1-year launch, I have high suspicion we're going to bring it back again. This happens a lot for us, where we launch something just to see, and it does well, and then we expand it and we keep growing it. And so I think that's a really good example of something that's working.
Amazing. Okay. So what role does Hershey see itself playing in shaping Halloween traditions for families?
A really, really great question. I mean, Hershey's as a whole really shines in the season. So you think Kisses in around Christmas with peanut butter blossoms. You think Cadbury eggs or Reese's eggs in the Easter basket. Like, we as a company are very proud of the role that we play in family traditions. I think as it relates to Halloween, it's slightly different. Halloween doesn't have as much of those ingrained traditions as something like Christmas may, but we played a very important part in family memory making and just general like excitement for the season. So I mentioned earlier in our conversation about these Reese's mini pumpkins, and just yesterday I pulled that out, and it was a quick little afternoon treat for me and my kids. We each got 4 of these mini pumpkins and we shared them together, and it was just a really cute way of getting excited about the season. And for me, for Hershey's and Halloween, it's about these memories and how do you foster memories in the season.
So like November 1st, right, the day after Halloween, do you just kind of crash because you just put all your effort from the whole year into the big Halloween season? Do you just kind of have like a crash of a sugar rush almost and be like, now we have to reset, breathe, and do it all over again?
I mentioned already that I'm thinking about 2027. So as soon as we end this year, we go heavy into what all did we learn? What did we see in market? What worked? What didn't work? What do we need to do differently? And I'm turning around in about 3 months later. Okay, what's my strategy for 2027? So I have to admit, there's really we don't take the pedal off the gas in this business.
That's why you're so successful.
While I wish we could take a little break, we actually pick up our busy season as soon as we round the corner to November 1st.
I love it. All right, Katie, we're going to go to our last commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. You're listening to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates on AM 970 The Answer.
Over the last 30 years, Newman Ferrara, a New York City law firm, has evolved into a national practice focused on real estate, commercial, litigation, civil rights, class actions, and other complex litigation, representing many of the city's largest property owners, managing agents, and thousands of tenants. Newman Ferrara handles some of the nation's most significant class actions and civil rights matters. Newman Ferrara at 1250 Broadway in New York City. Go online to newmanferrara.com. That's newmanferrara.com. Listen to the firm's name partner, Lucas Ferrara, every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Dottie Herman's longest-running real estate radio program, Eye on Real Estate, on AM 970. A real estate lawyer for 35 years, Lucas is a professor at New York Law School and is also a published author with books on real estate and New York's landlord-tenant law. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to hear Lucas's unique perspective and advice on Eye on Real Estate.
Welcome back to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates on AM 970. The Answer.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking everything Hershey's and chocolate and Halloween and candy tonight. And I have Katie DeCapria on the show. She leads Hershey's Halloween program, shaping the strategy behind the company's biggest seasonal business. Welcome back to the show, Katie.
Thanks so much, Christina.
This is going so well. I'm so excited for Halloween this year, all of a sudden, now that I have you on. Now, does Hershey's partner with communities or like schools or any kind of events during the Halloween season?
You know, great question. We're very tied to our local community. And so we have an extension of our team that is very focused on kind of fielding all donation requests and making sure that we're servicing all those requests. But especially in our local community, yeah, we are working hard to make sure that we can help them out on all of their Halloween parades and school handouts for sure.
Does Hershey Park do anything spectacular for Halloween?
They do update the park to have kind of a Fright Night vibe to it. So there is like a haunted section of the park, and there's a trail that you can do a little trick-or-treating for those nights. Yeah, that's a good time.
And what strategies does Hershey's use to stand out during such a competitive candy season?
Well, wonderful question. And there is...
Or maybe you can't tell me the answer because then people will know.
The number one lever that we have is the power of our brands.
Yes.
Full stop. I mean, we're really proud of our brands. We're really proud of the way that both our established brands and our innovation pipeline really shines in the season. And so while I can't give you all of the secrets to our strategy, I do have to say, I think it's our intent focus on innovation, following the consumer trends, the strength of our brands in the season. And then I would argue that one of our advantages in Halloween is really our shapes. And so we've talked about Reese's Pumpkin. I mentioned the Kit Kat new shapes that just launched this year. These things really work and consumers love them. And so I would say those are some of the things that help us stand out.
So thinking of all the holidays as a whole, Halloween is probably the biggest season for Hershey's, right?
No doubt. So Halloween
what comes after?
Hershey's Super Bowl.
Is it Easter?
What comes after?
Or like Valentine's Day?
Easter's quite large. A fun dynamic about Easter is depending on when it lands. So some years you might have Easter in April. Some years you have it in March. That really dictates how large that season is. But yeah, Easter is our number 2. And then Christmas is a fast follow right after that.
That's right. All right. We did talk slightly about supply chains before. Have supply chain challenges or inflation even changed how Hershey's approaches their Halloween production?
Absolutely. So,
every business now, it's like crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, in 2022, you can see this in the media. That year, our CEO actually had to come out with a public statement in the summer and say, get your candy early. We might not be able to supply. Yeah.
I do remember this now because my mother was freaking out because everyone goes to her house in town for Halloween. And she was like, I can't not have candy. That's right. So what did you do?
Our manufacturing plants were running at full steam nonstop. And so that really reset the way that we plan these seasons. I mean, we have locked in our orders on Halloween in the spring. and we start producing for Halloween, depending on packaging or different items. I mean, we're gearing up at the start of the year. So it can take us the bulk of the year to really get everything ready in time. And even down to September, I mean, we're finishing packaging, we're getting out the door. I mean, sometimes I feel like Santa's elves, making sure that we have all of the product on time in the right stores. It's pretty remarkable. And you think about how we ship and sell all of that candy in about a 10-week period. It's very impressive.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some very impressive work all around, especially with these recent challenges. And I'm sure this is probably going to be a thing now in the future to make sure that no issues could potentially arise for future Halloweens, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I'll say from my lens, there are a lot of very important metrics that I watch. And I take none, probably the most important thing that I watch is, are we servicing every case of demand? So our retailers depend on us and our consumers depend on us to make sure that we're getting everything out to the store on time. The consumers know they have it, they can get it. That's my number one job. And so we take that very seriously here, and it takes a real army to make that happen.
Well, that's great. I'm so loving that you were on this show tonight, Katie. And I have to say, Ryan Pagano has never jumped on one of my shows more than he did tonight. I guess this was a hot topic for you, Ryan.
That pretty much is, because I distinctly remember growing up, I just can't help but remember all the fond Halloweens and even the not so fond Halloweens that I had. And especially getting a lot of Hershey products, too. I think that definitely helped.
Yeah. And I will share with you, Ryan, once my package arrives, I promise.
Yeah, you got to let me know all the good stuff that's in there. I mean, I'm salivating at the mouth now, just wondering what is in this goodie bag.
Calm down. All right, Katie. Well, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much, and good luck with this Halloween season. You're killing it. This is great.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. All right, Ryan Pagano, since you jumped on the show so much tonight, let me run some jokes by you, if you don't mind, that I was going to use on my kids this holiday.
I'll go right ahead.
Okay. What's a vampire's favorite Hershey's candy?
A vampire's favorite? I mean, it's got to be the Kisses, no?
No, it's a bite-sized bar.
Bite-sized bar. See,
come on, Ryan Pagano. See, okay, let me give you another one. Okay. Why did the skeleton give out Hershey's bars on Halloween?
I feel like I could be way better at this.
This is an obvious one, but I'll just give you the answer.
I feel like it's so obvious that I just don't even know it.
Because he didn't have the guts to make candy himself. Get it?
God forbid. You don't have the guts to make the candy yourself.
All right, last one.
That's a good one.
This is a good one. I think this one's great.
Hopefully I get this one.
I don't think you're going to. But okay.
I won't.
So what do witches hand out instead of Hershey's?
I don't know. Cadbury cream eggs?
Hextra dark chocolate.
Hextra.
Come on,
Putting
Ryan.
a hex.
If you don't get them, my kids aren't going to get them.
See, Christina, it has been a while since I have heard these Halloween jokes and all that. I mean, I feel like I got to use this on my own friends at some point now.
Okay, all right. Let's just
These are very good ones.
Let's move to the ingredient of the week then, shall we?
Why not? Ingredient of the week? What do we got, Christina?
This week, in honor of Halloween and Hershey, our ingredient spotlight is on cacao, the heart and soul of chocolate. Cacao comes from the beans of the cacao tree, which are fermented, dried, roasted, and ground into cocoa liquor. From there, it's separated into cocoa butter and cocoa powder, the essential building blocks for everything from a Hershey's milk chocolate bar to a Reese's peanut butter cup. Cacao has been treasured for centuries. The ancient Mayans and Aztecs used it in ceremonial drinks, calling it the food of the gods. Fast forward to the late 1800s, and Milton Hershey built his entire chocolate empire on making this once luxury ingredient affordable for everyone. Beyond the indulgence, cacao brings a little health bonus too. It's packed with antioxidants, can boost your mood, and even has a touch of caffeine for energy. No wonder it's the start of Halloween candy bowls across the country. So whether you're unwrapping a Hershey's Kiss, crunching into a Kit Kat, or sneaking one more Reese's, remember, it all starts with the magic of cacao.
And one more thing before we wrap up tonight's show, Christina.
What is it, Ryan Pagano?
I find it very interesting that you're highlighting the cacao plant, because admittedly, before we started on tonight's show, I had no idea what a cacao plant even was, because myself, and I'm sure a lot of you listening tonight feel the same way, but I know a lot of people out there have heard of cocoa before.
Yeah.
And not cacao. I mean, similar letters just switched around,
right.
I know, but what exactly is that difference?
Explain. Okay, so cacao refers to the raw, unprocessed form of chocolate, while cocoa is the processed version that is commonly used, like if you're baking something or cooking something, like cocoa powder, right? Like that's what you're making hot chocolate with.
Yeah, like that, because I know a lot of people, they probably think of cocoa as more of a natural thing, if you will, like a cocoa plant where they get cocoa beans from, but it's just very interesting to note how that's a completely different thing, Christina, like an actual cacao tree that all this cocoa originates from. I just find that so interesting.
Well, I'm glad you do. That's why I do the ingredient of the week now, Ryan. I'm here to expand your horizons.
Exactly.
Show you the way.
Not even just expanding my horizons, but expanding all of your horizons too. I mean, we're here to entertain, don't get me wrong, but
informative too.
But we're also here to be informative. That's exactly it, Christina.
Thank you for listening to Culinary Confidential with Christina Cates, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. on AM 970 The Answer. Tune in next week when I'm joined by Ronald R.J. Asher for a show all about a company he founded called Tai Tai Pai Pai and some interesting insights into the dining scene in Hong Kong. R.J. had a very successful career in corporate human resources. He and his wife moved to Hong Kong from the U.S., and he wound up starting the sweet and savory pie company there, and it really took off. But that's the show for tonight. Thanks for listening. Happy Halloween, and have a great night.
The preceding program is sponsored by Shake It Off Live, LLC.